Last year, adventurers and adversaries introduced backers worldwide to customizable resin RPG miniatures. We delivered 3 months early with a promise to return with new adventurers as voted on by our backers. Today, we honor that promise. Featuring 4 new ancestries as voted on by our backers. As well as 4 new sculpts for backer favorite ancestries. Adventurers and adversaries, customizable resin miniatures, which allow you to bring character to your character.
Are we ready? Hey! We're alive. It's Tuesday. Another day.
Am I supposed to come in here? I think I could.
I'll scoot a little bit. Are we okay? Have we? Okay. Sorry. I'm clicking.
I think it's better.
Yeah. Hello and welcome.
Hi.
It's Tuesday where we
Yes.
talk about things. I'm Michael Gramling, the Bard Creative.
I am Cindy Munoz, the High Priestess 710. And I am in the studio today.
Yes, you're not calling from the farm.
No.
You're like, you know what? I miss you enough to come home.
Sure.
Yeah.
That's what it was.
So today we've got quite a couple of cool things to talk about. First and foremost, those are morning announcements. ECC, another reminder, it's coming March 12th to the 15th. Check it out. It's going to be great. Emerald City Comic Con.
Yeah.
Mark Ruffalo is one of the headliners. They've got a bunch of people coming to do stuff. They've got Tabletop Gaming, which is going to be us.
Yes.
They've also got consoles and arcade, a bunch of stuff you can do. So if you don't have anything going on in between time, and you've already walked the floor a couple times, there's plenty of stuff to kind of keep you entertained.
Yes, and things to watch, to people watch all day.
Yes.
ECC is a very good place to people watch. I mean, not in a creepy way. But
Also in a creepy way.
But like, I like people watching. I like buying a sandwich, just sitting down and watching all the people walk by and all the crazy cosplays.
Well, I like the cosplay. So ECC, they always do a bunch of cosplay things. Like I went and I did photography for the Doctor Who photography group. They have Pokemon groups. It's a bunch of really amazing stuff. You see people's incredible inventions and stuff. Artist Alley, tons of exhibitors. Again, March 12th to the 15th.
Excited.
Super excited.
Yes, there's going to be so much fun stuff. I'm excited because Funko shows up.
Yeah, they're one of the primary sponsors this year.
Yeah, I'm a huge. Oh God, I got something in my eye today. They are. I'm a huge Big Lebowski fan, as you know.
Mm-hmm.
And last year at ECC, I was able to snag myself a Big Lebowski like scene of them sitting at the bar at the bowling alley on a skateboard.
That's
from the
rad.
Funko Pop stand, like on Sunday, closing night, like shutting down. They had 2 left. I can't tell you how happy I am that I still have that. I still get excited thinking about it. It's definitely one of my favorite times. That and I do enjoy going to SakuraCon for also the vendors.
Yes, they have pretty amazing stuff.
Yeah.
Also, morning announcements. Adventurers and Adversaries #2, the Kickstarter. That is launched. You get to do stuff. Check them out. You can go to clericgames.com. We've got a button that'll take you right to the Kickstarter. You can check it out.
That'll be putting that up. But before we do, I don't want to move too far away from ECC, but some great people from the industry called majesticdice.com. They contacted us, and they're going to be sending us a few mats and sponsoring us and their DM mats at ECC. So if you are there, please keep an eye out and check and see what they have. See what it looks like.
I'm excited to do some product reviews.
Yeah, me too.
We did one unboxing. I did one other one with Zeke. You guys opened figures.
SakuraCon is your con.
Kickstarter Adventurers and Adversaries #2. They've got a bunch of amazing minis. Check out their stuff. High quality, really good craftsmanship, incredible models. And they've got a huge selection of kind of supporting things, and go for that.
Yes.
Again, clericgames.com. We'll have a link up. You can get straight to the Kickstarter through there, or just go to Kickstarter.com and try to search for Adventurers. And
I think Ben's gonna put in some stuff here in the chat here in a second, and then tonight.
Yes.
At 6
p.m.
Standard Time, the Uncommon Gaming for Delving in Deep.
Yes.
We're going to be doing a show.
If you guys checked out, I think it was 2 weeks ago, we had them call in. We got to meet a couple of the members and talk
Great.
about
And
stuff.
I'm excited because we're all working together this year too at the Renaissance Fair, and
yes.
I'm really excited. This is gonna
This
will
will
begin
be
a beautiful friendship.
Yes, we have friends. Check them out tonight, 6 o'clock. Uncommon Gaming, Delving in Deep. It's a fantastic show.
Yeah.
More Kickstarter things. Collateral Damage. Those are guys that may have been following or heard about it and checked it out. They are Daniel Salcedo will be there. You can playtest the game.
Daniel will be there.
Yes.
And he will be in a different section than us, I believe.
Yeah, he's gonna have his own space. He's like,
coming in far. I'm glad we supported our boy, man. That's all I gotta say. There was something special there.
It's not confirmed, but Monsieur Salcedo is definitely trying to get some printed books. So you might have a chance at buying a copy.
Marshmallow! So don't look at Mikey. Hi!
He's got for those of you guys who did pre-order, he's got the PDF set out. So if you have a friend maybe that
you know what I'm really excited that I don't even think know about?
What?
Daniel's working on some stuff for us. Because he's a great artist, as we all know.
What is he doing for us?
He is bringing Bullocks, the pseudo dragon that we have grown to know and love in our group. Now, there's this, if you've ever played with Josh and you've played his Irish gangster firearm dealer.
What is the name of that dude?
Like dwarf or something like that. His name is
or is it a wizard?
No. Maybe it is a wizard. His name is not as memorable.
It doesn't matter.
It's the pseudo dragon that it's all about that follows him. It's this little chunky pseudo dragon that does nothing but get us into trouble every time it leaves our sight, which I love. I love it. It's my favorite.
When we were designing Bollocks, it was supposed to be like a guide for players. Like, if you're kind of moving off the beaten path too much or too slow or whatever, Bollocks was supposed to help
No.
move the story along, but that's not who Bollocks became.
No, he became like, he made you want to make the story go back to where it's supposed to, because you're like, oh my god, no, like,
Do you remember like the cat chase scene?
Yes.
And, yeah, I remember.
And then the neighbors are coming out and adding so much more like problematic shit. I mean, it's great. So Bullocks is coming to life, and I'm very excited about it. Jamie, yes, hello. But yeah, I definitely am excited about the little drawing, because he showed us a little sneak peek, and Josh and I kind of gave him some input, and he's like, perfect. And so now we're just waiting for like finishing.
I'm excited to see that. I'm a big fan of Daniel's artwork.
Oh, Daniel's artwork is great. I mean, his sense of humor and his artwork and everything. He's a very humorous and artistic person.
Yes.
And then he's kind-hearted to top it all off.
He's real sweet.
Yeah, he's a nice guy.
And a very good storyteller.
Yeah.
That's one thing.
He is a true bard.
He is.
He's a true bard. He plays an instrument.
He's way more like true bard. He's way more bardy than me.
Well, he's like musically bard. You're like sneaky bard.
I'm college of
Whispers.
Yeah. I'm college of Muggaleen. That's what I am. I'm yes.
We're going to do a run fair near Kids at.
Is it what? Who and where?
We're going to a run fair near Kids at.
I don't think so.
I've heard of that one, but I don't think so. I don't think that's the one.
We've been. That's not.
I
the
know
only one I can think of
Oregon
is
is
Ragnarok.
on
I don't think. I don't. We were. Well,
Jamie says there used to be.
There's quite a few. We've been invited to quite a few places. However, we need to really buckle down our schedule and start calendaring our dates.
The Oregon Renaissance Fair is on the list for sure.
Yes.
So that's going to be interesting.
I know that's the one we're really pushing to go to.
That's going to be interesting.
Yes. That basically takes care of our morning announcements. Today's topic has to do mostly with Cindy.
What?
Last Thursday at the Foxy Lady Cafe.
Yeah.
Do
you have pictures, Ben?
Oh jeez.
Yay!
Yay! But you DM'd for me.
Oh wait,
for the
are
first
they
time.
TOS?
I know. I think they're appropriate.
Lingerie is appropriate.
I don't think we got like that.
No. Well, the picture of me with the girls.
Yeah, I wouldn't want to risk it right now.
Maybe not the butts one. Definitely.
The butts one is probably the most appropriate of all.
That one we can show.
Yeah, if you guys showed
just the wall of
there might be booby shots. Yeah, I can't do it.
I think there's pasties on everything.
No,
Really?
I believe there is nip.
Oh.
No, there's no nip, but I just don't want to risk it.
Anyways,
Okay.
Our adult 21 and up gaming bi-weekly game. Bi-weekly.
Like
you DM'd for me for the first time.
I DM'd you for the no.
I haven't.
It's like the halftime.
You haven't. I mean, this time you were the dungeon master. You ran the whole thing.
There we go.
Yeah. See,
I haven't shared this yet, but like that all that's.
I think that's totally fine. I think we could show that photo.
Can you blur the back?
Yeah, give me a minute.
Well,
We'll talk.
But you were like the supreme, like you were the dungeon master, like
I was a
training
sexy
wheels.
dungeon master.
It was fantastic.
I know you won't say that, and that's okay, but I had to say it. I was a sexy dungeon master. I had a cute outfit on. Yeah. I felt good about myself. I think I played all my characters quite well.
You did.
My monsters, probably not so much. But my NPCs, I think I did a great job. I think it was right
So on
on
that note, that's what today's topic is all about. So we're going to be talking about monster stat blocks. So Cindy, as a new DM,
There's two things that scare me.
What?
Monster blocks.
Yeah.
And then
monster mashes.
Or the monster stat blocks. The monster mash. The other thing that scares me is remembering when people are like, I do blah, blah, and I'm like, what the fuck is blah, blah?
I cast the. I will say.
Like, they could be like, I cast Bubble Blast, and I'll be like, what's Bubble Blast? And I'll be like, okay, roll Bubble Blast.
One thing, so that
There's
game.
a fucking Bubble Blast? I wouldn't know anything.
That game, every attack was basically Toll the Dead. Half of the table cast Toll the Dead the entire time.
Yeah.
So I've never seen a DM have to roll that many wisdom saving throws, like, in a row and have, like, three different
kept me
monsters.
busy.
Yeah.
I liked it. It
was
kept me
wild.
busy. I was like, yeah, let's keep rolling dice, guys.
Um,
And the table enjoyed reminding me, oh, no, we're going to do that. Okay, yeah.
Oh, yeah, because we also gave you, was it Bane? I think we baned
You
you.
banged the shit out of me.
That was also a very popular spell that was cast. that
Yeah,
game.
I was banging the shit out of it.
So today we're going to talk about monster stat blocks, both for beginner DMs, for experienced DMs, and things the like. So Ben gave us a list of a couple of monsters that we're going to look at. While we kind of get that
Marshall
ready.
understands me.
While we kind of get that ready, those of you guys who may be listening in chat, have you guys ever experienced any problems with monster stat blocks, especially when you were kind of first playing? What were some of the challenges? I think one primary challenge is when you have a lot of monsters, trying to like manage that can be a little much.
Yeah, and because I kind of knew what I was doing already the second time around, it wasn't as hard to go back and forth to find what I needed because I already knew where I was going. Whereas before, the first time I'm like,
Also, here's a quick shot of us at the Foxy Lady Cafe.
woohoo!
There's Cindy in all of her glory. Me, I think I'm placing bets on on one of our characters, whether they're gonna die or not. And there's Lee in the background standing.
Yes.
It was fun. Oh,
I would have been seeing that photo when I was taking a picture. So
Yeah,
did you notice how much attention we were getting from everyone else at the bar?
yes.
Everyone was like, there was the older Asian gentleman who was like, what are you guys
I
doing?
think he came and sat at the table and watched us play for a while.
Yeah, for a little bit.
Yeah.
It was
And
fantastic.
then he moved to the other table and watched the other table for a little bit. I don't mind.
That was cool.
Good
So
voyeur.
he's a little bit of a voyeur.
That's okay with me.
I should also do a shout out to Kristen. Thank you. She did another custom menu.
Yes, she made the 3 dragon drinks. So she did Kyber's, Evanron, and Sybaris.
Sybaris was my favorite.
Y-
I liked Sybaris.
no, you like Kyber.
Oh.
Kyber was your favorite.
That was the
a big boy.
Oh no, that was the White Claw.
That was with White Claw.
So that was fun. I got real drunk real fast.
Yeah, you did.
That was great.
Yeah, you were like, okay, so the drink is served. I forget what's in it. It's got like
It's red. It's
red.
got dragonberry rum.
Yeah, that's what it was. Dragonberry rum. And then on the top, she drops like a can of White Claw.
Yeah.
And it kind of just sits there.
Yeah.
But if you try to lift the can,
So
it just starts chugging into the cup.
So like it was just like the White Claw was flooding the glass, and so like all of these things were happening, and so I had to like chug as much as I could, and then I was like, it's too much because all the liquor's on the bottom, and then I'm like, it's your turn, and yeah, that was good.
Yeah, I know. It was we were on a roll.
It was great.
Fritz, we have already established that you already are a much more organized and well prepared gentleman than I will ever be. So I mean, I appreciate your advice. This is great for other people that need to be organized, but I suck.
You don't know. You're just new at this.
And
You will learn shorthand and all sorts of cool stuff.
like the fact that like he's like, I create like the overhangs for the monster blocks and all that. I like dream that I one day could aspire to be that sort of DM that's gonna be like, yes, I have all these things that are well organized. That's why I pay for things and hope to God that it makes it easier.
That's why I give other people money to
Yes.
make things for me.
Take my money, make it easy.
So let's go ahead and pull up the first monster stat block. So the first one
Hey,
that
there's a question for you from Fritz, Michael.
because I hate the way stats are for So like he's like the deck still just blue, just having the +2.
Yeah.
I do like when I start putting my monsters together. I don't do like the overhangs, but I've developed my own like shorthand notations for stuff.
Oh, he was answering your.
Not a question.
I
He was
see.
answering.
God.
Anyways, our first monster on the screen is the vampire. So a lot of the monsters that we've picked have a lot of text and there's a lot of stuff going on.
Mm-hmm.
Can you see that pretty well? You're gonna squint at it. You gotta blink your eyes.
No, that is way too small.
You're fine.
All I see is vampire. Cover my face. It's ugly today.
You look
I can just
fantastic.
do that, and then it won't cover.
There we go. Switch it over.
Everybody's just here for Mikey's hair.
Challenge accepted. I'm gonna put this to the side. I love to click. Ooh. Anyways.
The cake's gonna die today. Is what happened.
Death and destruction. Perfect. All right. So the first creature that we have on the screen is the vampire.
Yes.
This is something that you're not going to encounter early on. However, we're going to take some time to kind of look at it.
Oh, I'm gonna be very familiar with the vampire here soon.
Yeah. Well, you're supposed to be running Curse of Strahd soon.
Yeah. So vampires are definitely. I saw the many different type of vampires.
Yeah. Vampire.
There's
spawn,
not just one type of vampire,
vampire.
which is very common amongst a lot of these monsters. There's very similar monsters with slightly different blocks and stat blocks, which also can vary with sizes, right?
Yeah.
And that's how much. And I've learned that's how much space it takes.
That is.
I'm learning.
Which is fantastic.
So one of the most important things, like the very first thing you need to know about a vampire, is that they're considered shape changers, so people can't polymorph them.
Okay. Because they already polymorph themselves, right?
You know how
they're classified as shape
It's
changers.
like they're.
Do you remember?
shapes,
Do you
yeah.
remember when we went to hell and Danny was like, "I polymorph it into like a mouse and I stick it in my bag and it vanishes." You remember that?
Yes.
So you can't do that to a vampire, which is a good thing for a DM. We're going to teach you how to kill your players with a vampire. So Marshmallow says they suck, which that's a very valid opinion. They're
I guess
not.
it all
They're
depends
not
on which
as.
side you're on, right?
They're not as super powerful as other versions, but there's some cool stuff you can do with a vampire to make it unique.
Okay, that is the craziest shit right there. Is that the armor class is super whack, but the hit points are fucking ridiculous.
So when you
I'm squishy, but it will take you forever to kill me.
So I'm gonna go ahead and just kind of give you kind of the lowdown, kind of how I move about it, and then we'll ask questions kind of as we go.
Okay.
First thing that I look at, obviously you're going to see the armor class, the hit points, and the speed. The first three things that are going to be the biggest impacts.
Okay.
The 16 AC, you would think that that's low. However, that's actually kind of a real fair armor class. 16 can be hard to hit.
Because he's a CR 13 monster, which means that generally it's a party of tier 3 people who have at least a +4 or +5 proficiency bonus.
Oh, see, I don't know that. Where does that show? Where does that show?
It's all something that you'll start to learn.
I
as you
see. Challenge 13. Okay.
Now, once you kind of see that, you'll drop. I totally skip past the stats. I don't even look at strength. I don't look at any of that
I look at dexterity.
for the initiative. Before I even get to that, I look down here at their saving throws and all this stuff.
Okay.
Now, the important things is like damage resistance, depth immunity, condition immunity, things like that. So this is going to be important because you need to make a real quick mental note that they have damage resistances in the first place. Because when they start attacking your dude, depending on so the vampire has resistance to necrotic damage and also to bludgeoning, piercing, and slashing from non-magical attacks. So in these instances, you'll have to ask questions like, is it a magic attack? Vicious Mockery, he has resistance to the damage of Vicious Mockery. So you'll when they roll the D4, you're going to take half of the damage.
I see.
So that's a mental note that you want to put down. In this cases, what I'll do, next to the vampire, when I have it in front of me and I'm getting it read it, I'll put a DR just on there, just as a mental note. Oh yeah, it has damage resistances.
Okay.
The other thing you'll notice is it's also got saving throws. Not all monsters that you'll have will have saving throws. This will be particularly important because they're going to be casting all those spells that are make a wisdom saving throw, make a charisma saving throw. Fireball, all of that crap. So some monsters you'll notice they do have saving throws, and that will kind of really dictate the whole wisdom blah blah blah.
Okay.
I think if you remember the Dolgrins, did the Dolgrins have the saving throws? I don't think the Dolgrins actually had it on their stat block.
I don't think they did either.
Oh my goodness. Anyways. Also following that, once you'll also sometimes we'll have other things on there. Dark vision, passive perception, everything has those languages. Once you kind of get oriented with that, it's time to kind of delve deeper into their abilities.
Marshmallow says that Xanathar has a really great, a quote unquote badass character to level chart that I should look at. It says how many monsters of a certain
CR should be paired with certain level characters.
Yeah.
Or a
CR to level chart. Sorry.
Which is good.
Why am I eating these like candy?
What are those?
Altoids.
Oh, Altoids.
I'm eating them like candy.
That's why you're so minty, so fresh.
It's so clean. It's on page 90. Okay, I'll take a look at it. I have 5 copies of Xanathars.
Following that, we've got abilities here's what kind of makes the vampire fun, which is the shape changer ability that it has. This is where you kind of get to play with it, where you'll start to understand the characteristics of the monster and some of their powers and how you can kind of challenge your player. So with shape changer, first off, it'll tell you that if the vampire isn't in sunlight or in running water, it can use its action to polymorph into a tiny bat, a medium cloud of mist, or back into its true form. And then it'll start breaking down its mist form, its bat form, yada yada. You can really kind of use bat form to move him around, set up kind of ambushes, things like that.
So he's pretty beefy when it comes to what he can do.
Yeah. A lot of these guys you'll run into. An important thing to look for is legendary resistance.
Okay.
I love legendary resistance. Straight up, if you fail a saving throw, you can choose to succeed it instead.
Okay.
You can do it 3 times a day. This is fantastic when a character decides that they're going to just start casting spells and all right, make wisdom saving throws, make this save, make that save, and you roll and you fail it. You're just well, actually.
What's the most powerful thing about a necromancer or a vampire? I'm sorry.
Oh, most vampires is the charm.
Yeah.
Can I get an energy drink? Please and thank you, sir.
So far, just looking at these stat blocks, what are you thinking?
What? Just kidding. What am I thinking?
Yeah.
I'm thinking that's a lot.
Yeah. Does it feel pretty overwhelming?
It does, and that's why I would definitely have to be one of those DMs that I would prefer if I could be able to have someone else run the game for me. That would be convenient. That'd be nice. But at least getting to run it once, twice, or whatever before getting really comfortable with the game.
Mm-hmm.
But Like, I'm nervous because I'm gonna have to run the second part, and I've never ran it.
Well, one good thing about, because you're still running tier 1, is a lot of tier 1 monsters don't have all of this crazy stuff on it.
No, the craziest one that I had was the flesh column.
Which is really modeled after a gibbering mouther. So I tried to look at some of the low CR monsters that have some crazy stuff. And you're looking at like the gibbering mouther. The gibbering mouther has a bunch of. It doesn't have a bunch of stuff.
That's kind of what it was more like, Ben. It was like the gibbering mouther.
He has the aberrant ground,
Yeah,
the gibbering feature.
That's right.
A speed of like.
It was a
10.
flesh sculpture. Is what they called it.
It's. Do you remember the description?
It was a scorpion-like structure with the silver arrow tip of the tail coming out of like the human flesh that was attached to it, and the flesh was like different bodies like attached to each other.
Yeah, and the doldrums are like
help me with that?
So this is an exception to the rule of the early levels.
This is pretty much what it was.
Yeah, speed of 10. Again, it doesn't have saving throws, it doesn't have damage, any of that crazy stuff. It does have a title of condition immunities, which is prone, which means that they just can't get knocked prone. So, like, the important mental note here is going to be you've got a speed of 10 feet. It's moving very slow.
Yes, it is, and that's why I was kind of not really moving too much around.
But it does have a ranged effect of its gibbering of 20 feet around it.
Yes, and the blinding spittle is pretty fucking gnarly every time. And it's pretty easy to roll a 5 or a 6 on a recharge. I mean,
with the gibbering mouther, this is the exception.
What's that?
Every time I go to roll the recharge, I always get like a 1 or a 2.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh no! Every time I think I'm gonna have shitty dice, I will say my dice were pretty fucking shitty on Thursday. They were my D20s. They were rolling, but those were Krakens too, and they were rolling super bad that day.
Although you almost killed me. You came close. You got a crit on me, and you were like.
I threw
14 points of damage.
I threw way more shit at you guys than I did the first table that I had, and I took down 2 people. You guys, like, no one went down. Like, you, like, dipped in health, but you didn't, like...
Nobody went down.
Nobody went out. Like, you guys were way... And you guys were a smaller table. You guys were only 4 of you. And I even threw in, like, everything. I got heavy on you guys.
Yeah. It was fun. I liked the challenge. But I mean, yeah, so with exceptions, the low tiers, Gibbering Mouther probably has the most stuff you need to remember. Anything around it in 20 feet. Although I will say the gibbering effect, super fun. I love hitting people with it because it's got a real easy wisdom saving throw. Players have to make a DC 10. But if they fail, they don't get to take reaction until the start of the Gibbering Mouther's next turn, and they roll a d8 to determine what it does on their turn. On a 1 to 4, the creature just does nothing, which can be super savage. Like, I've run a Gibbering Mouther, and they were all next to it. They all got hit with the gibbering. They all failed, and they all did nothing. I got, like, basically a surprise round on them. And then on a 5 or 6, they take no action or bonus action, and they just run randomly in a direction. And then...
It's a good way to split the party.
Oh, yeah, it does.
You guys are splitting yourselves just fine.
Oh, yeah. Well, I mean, I was the one melee character. And then...
No, there was 2 of you. You and Bob.
Bob was supposed to be melee. But Bob...
You guys kept, like, coming... Bob kept coming in and out.
Yeah.
You were like, I'm going to stand my ground.
I stayed in the bush.
In the bush. In the bush.
You did a really good job handling Blinding Spittle.
Yeah.
I will say.
Yeah.
Gibbering Mouther has multi-attack.
I couldn't reach ever for a bite. You guys always stayed just far enough.
Yeah. I would point out, so Blinding Spittle, that's for your ranged dudes.
You know what's difficult about the gibbering mouther, even for a level 1? My problem is just remembering on everybody's turn and looking at who's near the monster. I mean, and remembering to do the aberrant ground and the gibbering and all that kind of stuff on their beginning of their turns. That was a bit of a like, you know what I mean?
I mean, it's definitely, I would say, Gibbering Mouther is probably one of the hardest creatures to really control early on in your DMing. But you did pretty good. You used the gibbering thing a couple of times, and
I did.
You remembered every time to recharge the blinding spittle. I'm guilty of forgetting to do a recharge.
No, I enjoy I have no problem rolling the dice because I feel like as a player I don't get to roll enough. So as a DM, if I get to be like,
It's just
I'm a little kid at heart, dude. That's all I want to do. I get it. I kind of get jealous at the cons when the kids start touching the dice. I'm like, don't touch my dice! Oh, I'm just kidding. Touch the dice.
It is. That's one thing that I really do love about being a DM is that like you're constantly rolling and you're always kind of doing stuff, and there's never that like pause and wait.
No, you can't like stop and check Instagram.
No.
When you're DMing, like you literally are constantly thinking. Because even if you're not, and like people are discussing something amongst themselves, you're like reading, like.
Yeah, I love when they like start discussing strategy. I just pause.
And then you kind of listen a little bit too.
You always got to keep the one ear to listen and be like, okay, they're planning some crazy nonsense.
And you're reading while you're trying to like boil up your own plan too, you know. So I don't know. That's definitely something I can agree to is that it's you. There's no resting as a DM. Like you are literally going. If you stop, it's because you're like, okay, you guys plan it. I'm gonna go pee. We're back.
Plan it and go pee.
Yeah.
Here's a fun monster. The Flesh Golem. So
It looks gross.
this is something you'll run into. So it's CR5. So you'll run into this in Tier 2. Although I had in our adventure, our Tier 1, there's a Flesh Golem fight. You remember the Turkey Golem?
Yes.
Yeah, this is the Turkey Golem. Yeah. Tier 1, let's go, baby. So stop it, Ben.
Oh, I see what you just did there. And I'm like, my brain had to process that for a second. I'm like, did you just say
You
Shakira?
guys are Latina, come on.
Wow.
You're all fired. So the Flesh Golem has a ton of stuff. Do you wanna just meander voice at it?
I don't even know what that means, but let's do it.
Let's check it out.
Let's jump in.
This is the first adventure that Mikey ran where there was a flesh golem made of bones or something.
Made out of turkey legs.
No, that you ran for me, and I had a diff, and this part came into play.
Oh, I remember.
I think it was a bone golem.
Yeah, I think it was a bone golem. So one of the key features of the Flesh Golem is in the damage immunities. It's immune to bludgeoning, piercing, and slashing from non-magical attacks that aren't adamantine. Sounds like a lot. Basically, this means any non-magical attack against it doesn't do anything. So like daggers.
So like if
and
I'm like,
swords,
here's my sword, whack. He's like,
doesn't do anything.
But then if your sword was made out of adamantium, then it's like.
And adamantine's expensive to make, and it's not commonly that someone's like, oh, I want to adamantine my weapon. So it's pretty
mean, we
common.
know some people.
That's true. But
we know some people.
I mean, at the stage you're supposed to fight the Flesh Golem, you're generally going to have a magic weapon, so you can kind of bypass all of that. It's got a ton of features and abilities. Some of it's like like lightning absorption. I think that's really awesome for flavor. So if you deal lightning damage, it doesn't take the damage, it gets healed instead. That's fun. Always something to remember. Magic resistance. The golem has advantage on saving throws against spells and other magical effects.
So they have a resistance against a magical effect, but not immunity against a magical attack.
Except for lightning and poison.
Except for lightning and poison. Because it's an undead animated body. So like anytime
that's
they're like,
when you find a spot underneath the table and you just like, I'm gonna take a nap now, guys.
Good night.
Check out.
Have
fun.
A flesh golem's really fun to play to attack your dudes with. The magic resistance is dope. Magic weapons, its attacks are treated as magical. So if they have any crazy shenanigans, you're like, nope, touch you.
Yeah.
Aversion to fire. This is a fun feature. This is essentially how you would kind of kill the flesh golem. If the golem takes fire damage,
it doesn't like die, but it definitely
messes
fucks
them up.
him. Yeah, it fucks it up.
It's fantastic. Multi-attack.
We're pretty much talking about Frankenstein here.
Essentially, yeah. It's Frankenstein's monster.
Mm.
The Berserk feature, if you'll scroll down a little bit, this is a little bit wordy. But it's kind of hard to remember as well. Like, I need to have a very visual reminder about the Berserk ability that it does.
Yeah, I would forget and then end up totally fucking myself on something cool while the players are like, and they're not gonna say anything unless you do get that one that's like, no, you're supposed to be doing that, and then you're like, oh, thank you, and then everyone's all.
I had that happen the other day. I was playing a life cleric and I'm tracking everybody's life, and the dude's got 44 hit points, and the DM's like, hey, you take 25 hit points. So I marked that off, and then his next time he got hit, he's like, you take 23 points or whatever it is. He goes, okay, cool, I'm at 1. I was like, no, you're at -1.
Oh,
you're negative,
ouch,
bro.
ouch,
He's like, oh
ouch.
man, I forgot. I'm bad at math. I was like, oh, sure.
Right.
So, also, side notes.
What?
You like using the average damage for their attacks.
I do, because honestly, I like I said, as much as I love rolling dice, I do, and I roll so much of it. I feel like I don't want to take the chance of really fucking with you guys. I'm not there yet as a DM. I'm not at the level of I'm here to fucking destroy your evening. Let's fight. You know what I mean?
You're not there yet. That's
no,
okay.
I want. If the dice haven't fucked you up, I'm gonna be like, and you'll see the sincerity in my face, like,
I didn't choose the number. The number chose you.
You know what I don't like? Okay, I don't know if I'm gonna out, so hopefully it never gets watched. But
you know what I don't like?
I don't
like
like when I'm the DM and everybody's like this, staring at my dice tray.
Oh, just getting in your business.
And I'm like, and then I don't even get to announce what happens. I don't get the opportunity to get to play what the dice says, because that person that's reading my dice is like, oh no, blah, blah, or reacts to it,
You know what you do?
and I'm just that kind of irritated me. What?
Well, you can use a DM screen. Also.
Yeah, but then I'm short.
No. So what I do is, in the event that I have someone who's really reading my dice and stuff, make direct eye contact with them, because they'll know that they're not supposed to be watching all your stuff unless you're rolling open on the table, which is what I'll do.
I do like to roll open on the table,
on the table,
but don't sit there with your face that close to my dice and then react, because my area, my area is right there, and then I do it, and then nobody else at the table gets to react to it because they can't see it, but then that one person does, because they're instead of just being or but it's
letting you announce your own stuff.
Yeah, I don't know. That's I guess. I don't know. Aside from what we're doing here with the monster stat blocks, that was definitely something that kind of was
You know what you do? you focus fire, you kill that player. So if I'm telling
man.
you're gonna be such a polite and nice DM, and then you're gonna get tired of it. And
I know. The first person,
die first.
The first person to like really have to face my wrath, I'm gonna feel so bad for, because that's gonna be like, who knows how many games just built up of like frustration. That is
I hope it's
like,
me. I hope you're just like, you know what?
You know what
day.
though? Everybody
particular.
out there that ever DMs Mikey will learn that Mikey tends to always end up being the focus of attacks.
Oh yeah, people like to kill me.
People love to kill. I found myself going to kill you.
Yeah.
And you were such a good sport about it. Like, you don't get upset. You're not like, no, you only get upset is when like there's like challenging going on at the table just in general.
Yeah.
Then you're like, oh, we're gonna play like hardcore rules? Alright, we're gonna play hardcore rules, and then you get a little cranky sometimes. But most of the time, you're pretty like, I'm about to go.
So dude, you were like, bap, bap, and like, oh.
And I try not to, like, you could see me like,
yeah.
I was even like,
I don't want you to ever feel bad. You know.
I know.
Death is a part of the game.
I
know. One thing I wanted to stress. In the early stages of DMing monsters, you need to try and learn monster tactics. And what I mean by that primarily is because
monster tactics.
So monster tactics are things like, you need to be aware that not your monsters aren't idiots. You know, they understand like a ranged caster. Here we go. So we have a wolf pulled up.
The Dolgrams had a pack tactic type of thing too. So
with the Dolgrams, they have 3 attacks and all this crazy stuff. The Dolgrams are smart enough to work as a team to annihilate one character. You know, you don't need to split up your guys. You need to really focus on like.
Okay.
Honestly, you need to focus on winning the encounter with your dudes. The players have more. The players are stronger than you. They can beat you in all of these fights. The one thing that you have in an advantage against everyone else is that you have the ability to manage the entire tactical side of your field without any kind of conflict.
Okay. So
you don't have to worry about one of your monsters just running away. Whereas in a big group of players, there's there's that not weird. Sometimes you have an off player that's like, well, I don't fight, and he runs away. Like, it completely just missed their whole tactical.
I've been at a table with somebody that played like that, and I know exactly what you're talking about.
So as a DM,
you went to backseat. I know you know one.
I know. Yeah, we both know. In any case, as a DM, you have supreme tactical advantages in those regards. And something that you should do is really take that and try to attack the players. You know, when the tank runs in and Obvious is like, attack me, you say, eat my shorts, and you go straight to the cast.
I feel like I'm in therapy right now. It's like,
listen.
You need to have more confidence when you're playing this. You need to understand that your goal is to kill.
You just need to imagine this.
Shrivel up into a ball and allow them
You're not weak.
Yeah.
Cindy, you're not weak. Show them your power. Show them no mercy.
That is pretty much what I feel like right now.
Now one thing that I would say is if you're kicking the players' butts and you want to pull your punches, you can pull punches with your dice. You can attack them. In those cases, you'll want to start hiding your dice. So,
And that's another thing is we were getting to the end of the game, and because his eyes were so on top of what I was doing, that I couldn't even just be like, all right, I'm gonna fudge the numbers and just let them kill it right now with 12 points left to go.
So
I am gonna have to just get a DM screen, huh?
Just a small one to kind of.
I mean, I'm not condoning cheating, obviously, but it was good cheat. It was I'm trying
As
to
a
speed
DM
the game up, and I was gonna let you guys win. It wasn't like I was out there to like fudge you guys, you know?
That's true. When we kind of got to the end and we're trying to wrap it up, you can feel free to just pause combat and narrate us winning, and because I mean we were going to win. There's no questions about it.
Yeah, no, you were.
So
Hey, Commander.
it's okay
Welcome.
to pull out and be like, hey, you
That's
guys
what she
just
said.
you just win. But yeah, don't let. Oh, here we go, Marshmallow. Don't let them walk over you. Make your monster smart. But if someone does something smart or cool, let them shine in that aspect. Yes. One thing to always think about is like a wolf. A wolf has the intelligence of 3. A wolf will attack what it thinks is the most threatening. So if there's a caster that's hucking fireballs, that's the threat. It'll probably go bite it or run away. But yeah, don't fall ploy to the whole like I'm a tank and you have to face me. No, you don't. You can completely avoid them and you can kill the back line. You're not your monsters aren't idiots, you know.
Okay. That's
so
a good key.
practice monster tactics and practice using the terrain. So you know how a lot of ranged people like to hide behind a wall and then jump out and shoot and then go back behind a wall?
Yeah, we didn't
Do
have
the
anything
same
like
thing.
that.
As a DM, you can do the same thing.
When I play an assassin as an NPC, I'm deadly. I've taken out a barbarian before, and they're so confused.
Right.
Because you just shoot and run and hide, and then they can't find them, and you shoot and run and hide. And you kite them, like, the entire time.
As a DM, slaughter them. Well, you don't have to slaughter them. But, don't...
Kill!
At least, what I would say is at least practice killing the hell out of a player, or out of a table. Because it's easier to pull punches than it is to learn how to be more, like, to increase the difficulty of a fight.
So, yeah.
Yeah.
It's hard to find, like, that middle.
It's more difficult at tier 1 because there's not a lot of options. Goblins, while they can be deadly with their hits, if you're taking averages, they're doing 5 damage. They have a +4 or 5 to hit. Like, there's not a lot to it, but the second a goblin's army starts getting slaughtered, they have the fight or flight, and they usually fly. Like, they don't stay around. So, like, it's hard at tier 1 to be able to manage those monsters because not all of them are going to be strategically smart. They tend to just do what's in their best interest. So you don't always need to necessarily win every single fight, and you don't necessarily need to kill them all. There's I can barely hear myself, so I'm gonna turn the song up there came up.
Can bump your mic?
Yeah.
Okay.
You don't need to kill them all, but like in Storm King's Thunder, there's an opportunity for if the players die when they're attacking the Storm Giants bases, or not Storm Giants, but just Giants bases in general, they aren't killed outright. They're taken and thrown in prison and put into labor, and then they get to plan their escape. And like you have to let them do that because you're not out there to kill them all, but like if they fail to storm the castle, they're now prisoners.
You can't fix stupid, but you can kill it.
Oh my gosh, so many times have I killed just... and normally a TPK will only come from player mistakes.
Yeah.
Well, that's what I felt was
Whatever
going
princess.
on at that one table with Josh when he was playing with me and everyone. That's where I was like, this is some... You guys are all pretty good players and have played this game for a while. Like, why are you all making such poor decisions right now? Like, I'm not even trying to punish you. You're punishing yourselves. Like, what's going on here?
But yeah, so that's that. Although I mean, you did fantastic.
Thank you.
We could touch on like rolling initiatives for individual monsters. If you've got like 2 or 3 monsters, it's fun to roll
I either go like left group or right group or north group and south group, and like that's how I split them up by like 3 or 4. If there's 10 monsters, 5 and 5 are my 2 groups, because then it just gets too much for me if I want to try to keep track of individuals.
I only like what I did at least was that if it was the smaller ones, I kind of grouped them into one roll, and then like if there's like one big one, then I gave that one its own roll.
Yeah, I noticed you gave the flesh sculpture its own, and then the Golgrim's head stuff. That's a really good way to kind of move about it.
I just kind of felt like it spread the battle a little bit more too, and it wasn't so like, you know, it was like
it can get kind of boring when it's just players and me, and having it kind of like broken up in between. It also kind of pushes the challenge on them a little bit too.
Well, I think it gives everybody like that suspense, like, ooh, the roll of the dice, like, what are we gonna get? Like, who's gonna get their advantage? Like, are we gonna be able to hit it before it sees me? Am I gonna, you know? I just figure it gives everyone a chance to kind of use the skills that is given to them, especially in Evermont, since you're given so much to begin with.
Yeah.
I just figured it would be fun for you guys.
No, that was really good. That was a really good way to put it.
I hate when I split up my dice rolls, but they all manage to go around like the same time. Like I roll 3 different dice, and they're all like 8, 9, and 10 on the initiative order, and everybody's either like super far ahead or super far below. And it's just like, well, I did roll them as different stats, but they all are going basically at the same time.
I had that problem too, where it was like a monster, then a player, then then the monsters. You know what I mean? It was like there was only one break, but I still felt like it still gave it a little extra.
Sometimes what I'll do is I'll completely fudge initiative. Like I'll have the players roll initiative.
Again, I would
and then I'll
too,
just insert where I want the monsters to be, or I'll just give them a flat 10.
Because like normally you would even stare at my dice, and you weren't even staring at my dice.
No, I was staring at my life points.
Yeah, you were.
See, all you gotta do is start to.
All you had to do was punch me in the mouth, and then I retreated back to my own space. Like, okay, this is home. This is where I'm safe. I'm okay, guys. I'll just keep taking the dodge action.
Our player Bob at the table was pretty funny when they were like, I'm out.
Here's a creepy death thing. Well, deuces.
Never mind, bye.
I think I'll just go back to my farm life.
Marshmallow brings up a good point. I have a friend who does this too. He rolls like 400 d20s, and then like he just writes it down on the list, and then they're like, okay, make a saving throw. Okay, check off that next d20. Check off the next d20. Okay, initiative roll, check off these d20s.
That's clever.
So you pre-roll it, so like you're never rolling like in front of them and then like having them look over you. You're just like, well, check that one off and cross it off and keep going.
I'll have to give that a shot. That's kind of a unique way to roll about it.
Yeah, no, that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Sorry, I didn't mean to click the pen.
Ooh,
Did you see it fly out of my hand just as I did it? I scared myself.
So we're at a kind of a good moment.
I want to play.
Ben came up with a good idea that we were going to run the beginning part into Volo's Wake. In Volo's Wake.
And he made something beautiful. Ben has been very creative lately. His juices have been flowing.
Don't say that. So
why is the camera so off?
We gotta. Oh yeah. Well, Ben, do you want to be in the middle or do you want to be on the side?
I'll be on the side.
Okay. Do you want to go this way?
The question is where did I put the adventure?
Are you sure, or do you want to be?
Ooh, bad things are gonna get easier. What? I'm playing McDougal, the Halfling Barbarian.
Tell me more about McDougal.
McDougal is a hero of where he comes from, and he works with his hands. It's all about his hands. So it makes him a man.
It's all about his hands.
Yes.
McDougal.
McDougal, the halfling barbarian. And he just gets very ragey. I don't know.
No, that is fantastic. Hold on, I have to fix my dude real quick. And
He is, I believe I made him a,
There we go.
You gotta do with an axe.
I'm playing Grayson Barley Spark. I'm a human sorcerer. Yay! That's perfect.
yeah, mine's a folk hero. He's I can't think of it right now. When you work with metal.
A blacksmith?
Yes, he's a blacksmith.
That's my
He's
goal.
a metal worker.
He's a metal worker.
I think I always do the common, or not the common, the build your own backgrounds. And they're always my favorite. So like, I'm Grayson Barley Spark. My background is a sideshow freak.
Ooh, Commander, how was your break from D&D?
Said he enjoyed it.
Oh,
Yes,
Ren.
Fritz said this is very pretty work, as he should, because he is one of the partners with the company that helped with this layout. This is all done by Dungeon Craft.
Yes.
So, except for this piece of wood right there that looks just like a turd because I painted it. So,
This brown log.
Anyways, what is your character again, Mikey? I'm
Oh,
sorry for
Grayson Barley Spark. I'm a sorcerer. I was in a sideshow for a long time as a child. And so, yeah, I'm not very strong or very smart or very wise, but I'm pretty, and that's all I got.
but I'm pretty.
But I'm pretty, and I can drink a lot. I don't
Aye, then we shall get along just fine.
Nick Dougal. How do we meet?
Drinking!
That's exactly how it went. Oh, I do want to do, I don't know if this will show up well.
I don't know. Maybe you might get the big D20.
Yeah, let's do that.
The biggie?
So this is kind of a spoiler. Spoiler alert.
We are in a process of having hand-created... No, wrong camera, sir.
Oh,
It's up on you should do that.
Wrong camera, sir. Oh, God.
You can kind of see inside there's the Cleric logo. Not really. It's hard.
I've had that song stuck in my head for like a week and a half.
Why?
So much so that I went and watched Guardians of the Galaxy again.
Oh, that's why it's in my head, because I watched that 2 days ago. I literally watched that 2 days ago.
Oh yeah.
The Avengers.
Well, this is your guys' fault because I haven't watched any of that, and that was popped into my head.
So these dice will be provided by Dead Eye Dice. He's on Etsy, and has been around for about a month already, and is doing pretty good. So
Yeah.
has 5 stars so far with like 9 reviews, and you keep dropping dice.
I do.
Can you see it and hear it, baby? I can't get it in the camera. Oh, there you go.
They're pretty rad.
So we will be having those at Emerald City potentially, and potentially at
And a very few available too.
Yeah,
They're going to
very
be
limited.
It's going to be a very limited edition
So limited.
because they are all literally handmade and hand done.
Handed.
Well, I mean, obviously, besides like the mold, it's not like they like chipped it and carved it, but there is some time that goes into like buffing these things and sanding them down. It's a pain in the ass, trust me, I know.
That's fair.
All right, so since you are drinking buddies, you guys are brought back to the town of Phandalin. I don't know if you know anything about Phandalin. We haven't talked about it at all on this show. But
I love Phandalin.
you are brought to this small mining and lumber town, a place that was recently made famous by the descriptions of the latest publications of lore master Volo Gutteram. A tome called Volo's Guide to Monsters. The guide describes the unique hospitality of the area, and such publications brings out the bored nobles, pleasure hunters, and thrill seekers. The scene before you paints a clear picture. Many of the buildings sport new coats of paint with signage, flower beds, and window boxes displaying fresh plants.
Flesh plants.
Flesh plants. One of the
Terrifying.
ends displays a banner reading "Volo slept here," while another display reads a larger banner claiming "Volo slept here as well, but better." In stark contrast to the carefully kept buildings and grounds and garbage litter the area. Empty mugs and plates, scraps of food, and torn and discarded clothing. And is that a human ear? As you continue to walk
I
in,
spy with my little eye. Yeah.
Something that is maybe now blue.
Can you hear me, McDougal?
do you want to do anything with the ear?
Oh yeah.
Yeah?
I want to pick it up.
Okay. It's pretty well covered in mud as you pick it up.
Gross.
But it does
Oh.
seem to be like a fully cleaved off human ear.
I grabbed some water that I have in like a little canister
just
and
spit
I
on it a little.
kind of like rinse it off. That's an ear.
I don't know if I should keep this.
It looks to be humanoid.
Okay.
Human in general. Not pointy like an elf or anything like that.
Is there a place to drink around here?
There are 2 inns.
I think we should go make an announcement that we found an ear, because if you lost an ear, the first thing I'd want to do is have a drink.
Does it seem? Is this ear?
Can you hear me?
Stop! Hey, what if they can? You're gonna shatter their eardrum.
No, there's only one. I have to talk just as much louder.
I'll just cast mending on it to try and preserve. if there's any-
Mending definitely doesn't do anything to an ear.
It's doing nothing.
You start to reform a rock in your hand. As you begin to walk up towards the tavern with this ear in hand, you see resting in a bed of sunflowers a man who is basically knocked unconscious. He is face down in this sunflower bed, and while well dressed, he looks like he's had a really rough day.
I stand kind of like on the side of him, and I grab the back of his head and lift up his head to check and see if that's his ear.
You pick up his head and you like.
Does he just
you,
come
you
like-
have like his head's kind of face down, and you lift it up. You do see blood coming out of his head, and his ear is missing. And as he wakes up, he goes, "Fetch me my horse!" and then falls back down.
You must know this guy because you guys have very similar lifestyles.
I don't know. Maybe we can be friends, but I have your ear, my friend.
I will put the ear in the man's pocket.
Nah, put it on my tab, good sir. as he says, drunk off his ass.
Oh goodness. I don't recognize this man at all, do I?
Give me a history check.
Oh, this is something I'm really good at. Nat 1.
Nat 1.
Natural 0.
You have no idea.
I've never seen this man before in my life.
And if I did, I was very drunk when it happened. So let's see.
Should we just go in the tavern? I think he doesn't
As
seem
you
like
guys
he's
are
dying.
like trying to figure out who this is, you see a portly human coming out of the tavern itself and says, "Friends, please come in, enjoy a drink. You look like you're capable, and I need some help."
I with my boot, I kind of like kick some of the mud and dirt out from where the guy's face would land on, and like kind of drop his head like in a position to where I know he's not going to suffocate, but I
that's
drop him
good.
there.
Okay.
And
Do you like
know?
raise the one arm and give him the?
I'm too short for that. But,
Oh, dear.
You know, it's okay.
Yeah. I'm very tall in comparison. That's why I like you. Yeah. I guess we'll go. We'll check out the inn. On a side note, we've never really talked about who Volo is, like on the show. Like, he's a very famous, like, character in D&D, and we should talk about him at some point
Might
in the
have
near
his
distant
mini.
future.
Sure.
I threw them all in with my humans, and all my humans happen to be here, unless I put them in with special characters. I had his mini for a while.
All just humanes. But in any case, yeah. Well, I'll go into the tavern.
Well,
I mean,
now we don't need to find out about the ear,
I got
thank God.
moved.
But
well, we could ask the tavern guy if he knows who this dude is. Eh? I'm not a doctor.
a drink's a drink. I don't care.
So you guys walk in.
Yeah.
Okay. the man is standing behind the tavern bar, kind of cleaning off, and he says, "Awesome. I'm in need of your help. Well, you may have heard of this Master Volo. He has brought some good welfare and some bad welfare upon our town. The good is that he brought coin and people in, and the bad is that now nobles are getting lost in the woods and basically befalling a tragedy on our fair town. Because if people find out that nobles are missing, it won't look good for us."
Oof.
I see my
That's no bueno. Well, nobles are rich, so we can make some petty coin off of this.
Yes.
I suppose.
I
And you love
guess.
nobles. They're your favorite.
They all think they're better than me, and I'm the hero here. Never get the credit I need.
Oh, you have all the you're right.
Yes. Always.
Always. Why are they venturing out into the forest in the first place?
Oh, you see, there's this book that was written that made it seem like all creatures are friendly and happy-go-lucky, Jolly Roger kind of things, and just like, getting captured. And
Fake news!
So, sure. So that's why they are heading out that way, and they are trying to seek this adventure and fame of their own, so that way they can make a name for themselves and not live under their parents' rulings.
Oh, well, that's pretty
See, the
noble.
world just got a little wee bit lighter, and I'm okay with that.
I can't say that we've met any friendly monsters in our journey so far.
No.
Not a single one. Well, yeah, that's...
Is there anyone in particular that you need us to find?
Yes, actually, there's one who ran off last night who I need help finding.
Is it your brother?
No, definitely
Is
not.
it your brother?
He is Lord Merryweather of Waterdeep.
And
Oh, that sounds familiar. Do I know Lord Merryweather?
Give me history
it
check.
sounds very fancy.
Dude, I feel like I've heard that name before. Probably not.
I mean, most noble names are very pretentious, so you probably just think that you've seen them all before.
Yeah. I was in a sideshow.
Let me guess, he wears frilly necks pieces.
Oh, so you met him.
No, I haven't, but I knew it.
Yes, he wears very.
I take a big gulp out of my drink, just completely amused by the situation.
I'm next!
Yeah, he runs around in generally gold embroidered clothing and very like purple lavish. I mean, that's what he was wearing a couple days ago when he left, anyways. So.
Now,
Sounds
from
like
what
a real boot in the mud.
this guy that he's describing, does he kind of look anything familiar to the guy that we maybe looked at outside?
The description that he's giving you, no. The other guy was wearing like blues and silvers, while he was describing, these colors of their outfits and stuff that they wear are very much like towards their house colors.
That's why I was asking that, because I kind of wanted to see like if like the capes or anything like that or whatever their clothing was similar to each other in colors or.
Good thought, but this guy does not match that description.
Okay.
They said that he was found wandering east of town a few nights ago when he did not come back into the town.
You got fans. You're getting called out there.
Ooh.
Sexy, she says.
But yeah, he headed east of town, and we need to find him and figure out what happened.
What's in it for us? I mean,
I'm obviously,
besides the great stories that are going to be told about me.
Sure, yeah. I mean, I wouldn't expect you to just, do this all for free, obviously. Well, fame and fortune is in our good name. And as he's, thinking over this, you see 3 people walk in. They all look to be kind of almost of nobility, but not really.
They don't have
They have,
waffles.
commoners' clothing on, but they're all, there's a little bit of accents on them to show that they have them. And he goes, oh, perfect. These are the council members who are wanting us to make sure that our name of our town is not forgotten or thrown into the mud. What say you? How much do you think we could pay them? And they kind of all look at each other, and And the woman steps forward and she says, well, he is one of my cousins. While he is stupid, he is still blood. So 40 gold a piece.
I kind of go to her. Are you, my lady? Anything for you?
Down. Stop it, MacDougal.
Well, then 40 gold sound fair?
I would like to persuade her for a higher price. I think, 40 gold is a cheap price to pay for family.
Well, it'd be 80 between the two of you.
Look, my lady. He doesn't know what he says. How about we have a drink and the 40 gold and we'll be even.
Can't argue with that, I guess.
Fair.
Hey, we're gonna have a drink with everybody! Let's go get this guy!
MacDougal, she's not your type, okay? We've gone over this 100 times over.
They're all my type, my friend.
Oh, gosh.
They don't call me a hero for nothing.
A hero on the sheets and I don't know. Something.
And a hero on the streets.
It sounds better when you're drunk.
So they quickly walk to the back of the tavern, and there's a statue on a table, and he turns to the statue, the tavern keeper, and there's a staircase that falls down under it. He goes, well, we don't necessarily want to be sneaking around everybody. We just don't want the good word to go out that something's been going on. So we're trying to keep this hush-hush. You guys can go out the back way. Like I said, head west. If he is that way, he shouldn't be hard to find.
Is there any other descriptions of the guy we're looking for other than the clothes he was wearing? Mole on his face. I mean, if nobles are being missing, I don't want to bring nobody back. Oh, hey, here's a dude we found.
Lord Merriweather himself. Sorry.
Yes.
Do we know why the idiot out front is missing an ear?
Oh, I forgot about him.
Oh, he partied really hard last night. We'll have one of the clerics take care of him.
I found his ear in case he.
That will help.
Yeah.
They give you 5 gold for the ear.
That's a fine price for an ear.
He's just good-looking features, blonde hair, just very posh and
blonde hair, ruffles.
Sure, he won't look posh when we find him.
Just a little bit of mud all over it. It's fine. It's fine.
He's having a bad day.
It's fine. We're all fine now.
It's all fine.
So you guys start heading out that way?
Out the back, like she says, my friend. Let's go.
We'll make haste.
Make haste.
Out the back.
Go ahead and give me nature checks. Sorry.
I'm really good at these too.
11.
Also 11. We weren't built for the forest.
Don't worry, guys. The DC for this
is how you know we're friends.
is 5.
Oh, thank goodness.
As you
Poison
begin
ivy.
to head out to the Crooked Forest, its name is well earned. Trees and white oaks and maples are ardently bent, while they stand to reach the skies. They are densely packed together because of the weaving of the forest itself. While you begin to head out west, like you were told, you quickly pick up the trail. You see,
look, posh footprints.
Yes, there is no traction.
I'm closer to them.
Stop it, MacDougal.
There's no traction on these shoes as far as you can make out, as you're going through and just watching it.
This guy was a slippery willy.
Yes.
You find a tree branch where he fell over and a twig that he might have tripped on or something. He is no way, shape, or form.
MacDougal, I found my calling. I'm a
as we're doing this, you see us both we're trying to follow the footsteps and reenact it. Come on.
The Princess Bride thing where he's following, doing the fencing thing.
And then we're slow motion, and then you twist it like this and hit the branch.
I would take a quick moment to disguise myself as the great Sherlock. With my giant magnifying glass.
Is that Ace Ventura when he does that? And then he like rewinds and like,
Let's see that in instant replay. Alright.
that's what it looks like.
As you bend around a sparse trail, just in time to see a golden maple slam a leafy branch onto a dead shrub, while a smaller flowering tree shivers as if a strong wind had blown through it. The faintest outline of a face appears in the smallest tree bark, and tiny mouth opens, but before it can say a single word, the dead shrub unfolds and rises vaguely into a humanoid shape and is hostile towards you guys.
I just want to visualize the moment as we're just blundering through the forest, and all of a sudden it's like, hey, what's that over there? I don't think it's friendly anymore.
And then we look at her like, oh, that's what happened.
Does this vaguely humanoid thing have posh attire?
No. They all look to be trees, essentially.
I want to take a moment. So you posted a video, or not a video, a picture of these guys.
Yeah.
Who did the grass?
So all I have to take credit for on those things is that I painted with my airbrush the brown on it, and then Amy did the rest.
Oh, I'm so bad.
So
Doesn't want to autofocus on that dude, but
too close. But yeah, no, they were fun.
you guys are so cool.
They were pretty dope.
He was right here.
No, you gotta earn your running. As you guys do approach, they begin to unfurl and attack. We will go ahead and roll initiative.
Keep your wits about you. Are you ready for this?
You sound like you're saying something from a video game. Keep your wits about you.
Who says that?
I don't know.
It's a very famous line.
I don't know.
Press A to do a barrel roll. Slippy. That's not. We're not doing Star Fox.
McDougal.
It's 17.
Oh, that's not bad. You're at 16.
I got equipment. Okay, so how does rage work? Okay, mind you, everybody, this is like the second time I've ever played a barbarian.
That's true. So your key ability is you just say as a bonus
you
action.
only get
rage.
3 rages.
For a
Yeah.
long rest.
However, in general, Adventures League, you're only gonna have 3 encounters, and there's no twig blades.
So then I just rage right now, right?
Yeah.
All right.
You see this one slam against this tree creature, and you see bark go flying off of it.
Oh, this little thing here.
Yep.
This
Does
little
it-
nugget.
Does
Yeah.
that thing,
Oh no!
does he look hostile himself, or does he look in
He
danger?
was the one who had like flowers starting to sprout off of him.
Oh, it's a cute little forest critter.
Does it look dead? Or-
No,
it looks like it's-
still looks like it's moving around.
And it
but
looks scared?
yes.
It has your favorite flower on it.
What's that?
It's a cattail.
This one will move forward.
That's
and
for a different show, my
Grayson, it will attack you. That is a 22 to hit.
That hits.
You will take 3 points of piercing damage
Ugh.
as its claws come forming out Groot style and hit you. McDougal, it'll now be your turn.
It's not friendly.
I'm going to rage, right?
Yeah.
And as I rage, I'm going to attack it.
Do you want to save little flower kid?
How?
Flower child.
Flower. This is flower child.
Yeah, but if I do, what is this? Like a mountain
It's
or
a
a
tree.
tree?
It's
That's a tree?
Yeah.
So.
You can run under it.
5, 10, Can I get to the
Ooh,
35?
you know what you can do?
I only have a speed of 25 because I'm a halfling.
You know what you can do?
What?
You can attack the twig blight here and then move. That way you move closer to the dude. You deal some crazed damage.
Okay, so I can whack him and then still.
And then move, yeah.
But then that's gonna activate an opportunity
Not if you
of.
kill him.
Not if you kill him.
Or you're raging.
One
so you take
fatal
half
slag.
damage.
All right, well let's attempt this. So battle axe is what I want to do.
Are you going to
two-handed, right?
reckless attack?
What? Now, see, what the hell? What is reckless attack?
Reckless attack is you gain advantage, but everything for the next turn has advantage on you.
Where's all
Whoa.
Oh, it's not popping up in your actions. It's going to be features and traits. So, like...
Oh, I see it. Reckless attack.
You attack things with advantage, but they get advantage to attack you. While you rage, you take half damage, so it's a really okay trade-off when you do the rage and the reckless.
That's a 10. It's a 1.
So, sorry.
And then I'm going to do it two-handed, though, right?
Yeah. Well, it's a two-handed item regardless.
Oh, I thought it's different stats when you do two-handed. Okay. So does a 14 hit?
Yes.
Oh, thank God.
It does do different. It's a D10 instead of a D8 if you're two-handing a battle axe.
Oh, okay.
It should be a D.
Great axes are D12s.
Thank you. That makes more sense.
Oh,
She
that's a
can't-
whack one.
She can't use great axes. 'cause
3
she's a halfling.
damage.
3
Oh,
damage.
plus 2
That-
because you're raging.
I know, but it landed on 1.
No,
What the fuck is that?
it's plus 2 because of your strength score, and plus 2 because when you rage, you deal an additional.
So
2
5
damage.
5?
altogether? 5 damage then.
You cleave this thing in twain
Oh, okay.
because it's a stick figure.
So then I'm going to go 5, 10, 25. I'm coming, little buddy!
All right, Grayson, it is your turn.
Let's see. I'm just going to use Firebolt. However, I'm going to use Tides of Chaos to roll with advantage. Hadouken. 23.
I'll allow it.
We're looking at 6 fire damage.
It bursts into flames.
And then I'll move 5, 6. I'll just move right here.
Okay. The one in the back.
He's tiny. He's like their child. Like, where did mommy and daddy go?
That is the giant.
Will shoot a needle at the barbarian. It's another 19 on the die for a 22 to hit.
That probably touches you.
Yeah, that hits.
Okay, it's 8 piercing damage, and since you're raging, half to 4.
Okay.
And then that'll be its turn. At the top of the round, you see 2 more of these things kind of like break off from the tree itself. It looked like this tree was almost being like smothered and broken apart, kind of like a blackberry like bush will do to a tree and just like smother it. It looks like these things were doing that to this tree. And you guys got here just in time to stop it from doing it to the sapperling.
Got it. So
But it will move over. And this one will double move over to here. And then that one will attack Grayson, which is gonna miss with a 9, I'm assuming.
AC 16.
Alright, so then it will be McDougal's turn again.
Battle axe. Now because I did it the first time, do I get to do that again? Let me read it. Hold on.
Anytime you attack, you can take the reckless attack on your turn.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's kind of a freebie.
15.
15 hits.
Wait, what am I doing? 6 damage.
Which one were you attacking?
That guy.
That guy?
That's the one that hit me, right?
No, he double moved to get to you.
Oh well, he scared me.
Yeah, he's dead.
Okay, good.
Alright, Grayson.
I am going to cast Magic Missile. All at the guy in front of me.
Okay.
And I would like to regain my Tides of Chaos.
Yeah.
Sweet!
Roll your d20.
Alright.
So, how I normally do sorcerers and how it's supposed to be done is different. Every time somebody casts a leveled spell, I always let them roll the Tides of Chaos percentage thing just to get it. Like, so they always have advantage. But
So it'll be a 14 for regaining Tides of Chaos.
Yep.
I need to roll a percentile. Sorry.
No, you have to roll a 1 and
I have to roll a 1 to do that, but to regain the usage of Tides of Chaos, I can, or with your allowance, I can roll on the table to regain it when I cast a first level spell or higher. And I just need to find, here's my chase, and then my Wild Magic table. Here we go. Wild Magic. We're looking at a 13. I cast Confusion centered on myself.
Okay, so everybody needs to make a
Wisdom saving throw.
What is your DC?
It's only
13.
I failed my confusion spell.
17. Does that?
You save.
Oh,
Do you cast the magic missile though, right?
I still cast magic missile.
Okay.
There we go. So. Oh,
So your minimum damage on this guy, since you sent them all to him, just annihilate him to shreds.
okay, I do kill it. However, confusion.
How many feet centered on you? 20?
It's got 10 feet,
10
so
feet,
it's only going to be. It's only me who's affected by confusion.
I'm mad.
For the next minute.
Yeah.
So you get to roll a
You
d10.
you confused yourself. Mikey.
Yeah.
Story
I got the
of your
Tides of
life.
Chaos back. There we go.
The Needle Blight is going to shoot again, and he misses. So McDougal, it'll be your turn.
I'm going to come between this guy and this guy, and I'm going to attack him, and I'm going to protect the little sprite guy.
You notice the little sprite thing is essentially taking the dodge action, like he's trying to just.
He's trying to just stay out of the way. Okay, yeah. I tell him, "You're doing great, buddy," to encourage his cuteness.
You're doing great, Bobby.
19 hits.
Yeah.
11 damage.
Well, that's all the damage you needed to kill him. As he explodes into 1,000 twigs as your battle axe goes through him. As you see the last one just blow up, you see this creature begin to like show its head. It still looks like it's part of a tree, and it looks at you, and it gives you kind of a like what you would take to be a smile, even though like it's kind of creepy seeing a tree smile.
Yeah.
In very broken common, it just says thank you.
You're welcome, little. What do I call you? What are you?
Oh, I'm Tinus. I'm a guardian of the trees.
Oh, and I give him a hug, and I go, "Now I'm your guardian."
You guarded me greatly. Thank you for your help. He like kind of like hits the tree trunk that's next to him a couple times, and you see like it begin to open up, and there's a small sack of gold and a potion of healing in there.
Awesome.
Grab that.
So we have a potion of healing. I don't. Do you want to take the gold? I'm cool just letting Tinus just get. You know, we don't need to take Tinus things. Protects the trees. That's how I feel.
I'm gonna take it.
Oh, okay. I'm not gonna stop
I'm gonna
you.
take it.
I'm not gonna stop you.
A gift's a gift. You don't hit a horse. What is it? You don't hit a gift.
You don't hit a gift horse in the luck mouth.
Oh, there you go.
Why were you being attacked by these angry sticks?
Old Forest, not a lot of you folk in here. Recent activity brings them alive. They
Got it. A bunch of dudes that are coming to the forest and
sense your blood.
Hey, you wouldn't happen to have seen a fine-looking gentleman with some ruffles and purple walk past you?
He looks hilarious. Looks like white flowers.
Oh, yeah, Yes, flowers. I've seen several.
And soft purple petals.
Yeah. He points that direction west and says, "You went that way."
Let's keep going. I got a date waiting back at the tavern.
Are you gonna be okay here alone?
Yeah, I should be.
Okay.
Maybe.
We'll see. No, I believe in you. That's great. Yeah, rad. Okay, well I guess we're going the right direction. I'll give him a nod, and I'll pat the tree, and I'll take off. I guess.
All right. As you guys.
I was gonna pat the tree too.
Da-da-da-da-da-da-da. Ooh, grab that.
Ooh. Big is magic.
Ooh. I wanna.
New shelf there.
There's a hole. There's a cave.
Yeah.
I don't know if I want it. Don't mind me. There we go.
So this one we went and got a half of a foam circle and we cut it in half again and then made a cave mouth on it.
Did you spray paint it and it melted itself a bit?
No, it didn't melt this time because we used the proper painting. I just used like some blacks and we like cut some pieces out of it.
Oh,
and stuff,
okay.
so.
I like the flora. I like these little blue things on there.
So Amy's been crafting all of our
This is all the
Tables.
leftover stuff
this
for
is
the
all
wedding.
yeah, exactly.
table
She's
stuff,
been
the
doing
little
the
terrains.
yeah.
That's cool.
Oh,
Because she made different terrains for like different themes of like movies. So there's like Harry Potter theme, there's Star Wars theme.
Yeah.
So each terrain
so
she
That's-
created is for the table.
I will have to say
adorn
that's
the
probably
centerpiece.
that's one of the most clever ways to kind of put tables together at a wedding where maybe not a lot of people know each other.
yeah.
That's pretty cool.
Like, well, I know these people like this, and I know these people like this, so we'll have everybody at the table with what they like.
Okay, what table do you think is going to be the most empty if you had a table? I think
If there was a table that I was going to choose that would be the most empty, I don't know. He's
Or,
got
like-
the themes that he picked is like
I feel like
there's no
do you know
way.
the things? The only one I know
So
he
it's
picked,
Harry Potter, Star Wars,
Doctor Who.
Doctor Who, and then Lord of the Rings, right? Or is it like D&D?
There's
Is it like a Warcraft one?
Oh, that's what it is. It's
There's
Warcraft.
Magic. Amy, chime in anytime.
She's at work.
No, she took
Oh.
a couple days off.
Ooh, I mean, you just got called out.
Playing hooky.
No.
No.
We'll go over that on stream. No, I did not. I thought I grabbed them, but apparently I did not. I'm gonna go run outside real quick to see if they're there. Or my
And as we wait for Ben.
We'll take a quick moment to address chat. Those of you guys that might be watching.
Jamie, thank you very much. I'm
Also,
glad I can make you laugh. I love you too.
exclamation mark A and A. We'll send a link to the Kickstarter for Adventures in
If you put exclamation part A and wait and or the and sign.
and the spelled out.
If you put
A.
and A, you can get a link. They'll take you to the Adventures and Adversaries Kickstarter page.
We put money in today.
Yeah.
Cleric Games has donated, I think it was like $258.
$256.
56. Oh man, I was so close.
It gets
$2
you. I thought it was gonna be 253, and I was like, well, that's kind of cool. Area code.
I'm getting cut off on the camera. What happened here? I'll be in the
I'll scoot
camera.
over a little bit. It's good.
No, I want to take it down.
Now I'm number one.
Are we taking breaks right now?
Kind of. Ben has to find goblins. I guess.
But we're right here.
Do your goblin voice.
No, I can't just be prompted to do the goblin voice.
You were a goblin mom.
I was
on
a goblin
Thursday.
mom.
And it was like, you have to find my daughter. Okay, she's
Grandola. She's the best thing that ever happened to me. Ever.
I wonder where Grendela's dad is. Like in the story.
Don't make me relive that.
He used to be a shark tamer.
The Mournlands.
Keep us
The Mournlands kind of ate him up, but you know, he took off with my ear. A piece of me always went with him.
Oh, that's great.
Remember? Because her ears cut off.
Yeah.
You don't remember that. You didn't remember that.
I don't remember her ear being cut off. If you were like
See,
this,
why do I
would
run
just get your
games
ear.
for Mikey when he can't even remember?
Effort and skill. Neither of which I have. Do you think we should have done more with the guy who was missing an ear? I think he was fine. I think if anything, we should have chopped off the other ears.
I
so
feel
that
like we
matched.
should have investigated and checked his pockets more and jacked what we could.
We don't need to jack that.
We should have found out where his horse was and taken his horse too.
Found a couple goblins.
Ben, where's the dab ring? Is it over there?
It's right there.
No, that's for flour. I was watching a TikTok and someone's like, people ask me how I make my eyes look so bright and pretty and like get them all glittery looking. She's like, I take 4 dabs in the morning when I wake up. I was like, that's me!
I need your eyes to be so glistening. I got high as fuck. High AF.
I do.
Alright, so
Tommy's outside.
you see, you guys will be arriving from this area.
Yes.
I don't know how well that shows up, but you see Lord Merryweather, a pale-skinned, slender gentleman dressed in dirty yellow and purple striped silks. He wears a crumpled hat with a large feather emerged from the brim. He is disheveled, and appearance cannot hide his noble birth. Unfortunately, his soft leather boots, which are covered in mud, are not well suited for traipsing around the forest. In fact, Merryweather is balanced so precariously on a shop rocks near the hill's edge that the Lord may trip and fall at any moment. I put him in the tree as for just the terrain layout. He is climbed up the tree and is stuck. His sash and pouch that he had, like his coin pouch, is kind of like stuck in the tree, and he's now hanging on for dear life.
Oh no.
You start to hear sharp cackles, and roaring fire draws your attention. Just on the other side of the hill is a pair of goblins hopping around a large bonfire, chanting and shrieking. Other goblins rummage through a sack made of the same yellow and purple materials as the noble's clothing. They are slapping and punching each other in an attempt to see what is in the sack.
Hey, come see my sack.
McDougal. All right.
We're gonna suck them.
Stop it. Because you guys are all the same height. What am I gonna say? Oh, Merryweather's stuck in a tree. How do you want to approach this? Should we just go gung ho, guns blazing, or do you want to try and?
I pull out my battle axe.
Put that thing away.
And I say, let's just chop the tree down.
Just want to go ham. I'll help Merryweather. You kill the goblins.
I guess I wanted to take the tree down.
Okay, I'll take care of the goblins. You chop the tree down. Yeah?
You're a good friend. You are a good friend.
I'll never let you not have the greatest adventure.
I will make you something out of the wood that I chopped down
I
the
don't
tree.
want you to whittle any wood for me.
Oh, I will whittle a wood.
It's because you're whittle.
Don't say that again.
I can't hear you when I pull the ear out.
You can't make me laugh like that, lad.
Should we roll for innits?
Yeah, as you guys begin to laugh, you hear the sounds of goblin chitter and chatter.
Chitter chatter. Watch out for their
As
chitter chatters.
These two move over here and wake them up. So we'll go ahead and roll initiative.
Oh, that's not good.
Did we start with inspiration?
Yeah.
I'm gonna burn my inspiration for initiative.
Okay.
Why?
I've
do you have
got
something
a
special?
really
Okay.
good idea.
I'm not going to deny you
10,
your good ideas.
And
Dude.
oh shoot, total for me is 14.
Okay. What'd you get, McDougal?
8. Sorry. I had it. I was gonna say 7. I was like, no, it was more than that. 8.
All right, Grayson, you were up first.
Rad. Okay. I'm gonna move and cast Burning Hands. I gotta count my numbers real quick. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so I want to be.
Oh my god.
Uh, 1, 3, 5. So I'll hit 1, 2, and 3.
Is that a 15-foot cone?
Yeah.
So 5, 10, 15.
Oh, I thought it was 1, 3, and 5. Right?
No.
He goes 1, 3, and 5. Because he goes 1, 2, 15 out in each.
Oh
Maybe.
my.
Sure. Cool. Please make dexterity saving throws. Ooh, a 6. Another 6. And a 1. 13 points of Firaga damage. Half if they saved. Yeah!
And your DC is?
13.
You see the two that are sleeping on the job. Just whatever they were sleeping on all goes up in flame.
I casted fire. Oh, can I roll a d20 to see if I wilded it?
Yeah.
I wilded
Oh
it.
my gosh. Lower your percentile.
Oh no! Oh
What does that
no!
mean? Now it's about to get crazy?
I don't
He
know.
cast fireball on himself.
Yeah,
Please do
maybe.
it. Please do it.
Let me go with my features and traits. Wild magics. That's a 47.
7 floops.
47. A unicorn controlled by you appears in a space within 5 feet of me.
Oh my
And it'll
God.
hang out for 1 minute. I summoned a unicorn!
I don't have a unicorn on me. All I have
This is so sub.
is
like,
this a death tyrant.
oh dang it! I have a unicorn somewhere too. Oh well.
Guys, look how savage this thing is.
I told you I TPK'd a party like 3 weeks ago with a death tyrant, right?
Yeah.
Nobody had range, and he was 20 feet away, up in like the air.
That's so
It
sick.
was
dude.
great. All right, that it for you?
That's my whole
I
turn.
guess I gotta roll initiative for the unicorn now.
Killed 2 things, summoned the unicorn, +1 for Bryce or Grayson.
All right, McDougal.
Chop down the tree.
It only gets me here though.
Throw the hand axe at the tree. Wait, do you have a hand axe?
I do.
Do you have a hand
I
axe?
do have a hand axe.
Stop. Are you not the hand axe champion? Or you,
I mean, back at home.
You-
Of course I was.
you might be able to throw a hand axe.
That was back when I was a wee boy.
You might be able to throw a hand axe at one of the gobos. What's the range on the hand axe? Like 20 feet?
It's either 20 or
20,
30/60.
20, 60.
Yeah.
So you throw it at a goblin at disadvantage,
You
or
could-
at the tree.
You could reckless.
Well, I want to throw it at the tree, because I don't know if I'm gonna. I don't think I could ever be that strong.
That's fair.
I mean, there's not really much else I could do.
You can
I mean, yeah, there's that.
take the dodge action, I guess.
Yeah, there's nothing really much I could do. I look up at the tree and I tell what was his name again?
Lord Merryweather.
No, call him Wimblebimble. Or
Hey, Wimble Merriweather! We're coming for ya! Hold on tight or let go, I don't care! I'll be here!
You see that he is hanging from the tree, like kicking, like something, like there's a strap around him that is caught in the tree. Like he looks like he's pretty close to falling, and like he's trying to like pull himself up on this strap.
Okay. Just fall.
Just fall. That is your thing.
I will be here to catch you.
Says, I can't. I'm stuck.
Oh, so like his clothes are attached to something.
Yeah.
Like he's like stuck.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. You know what? I'm gonna try to use my my the hand axe to throw and see if I can hit the piece of fabric that his robe is stuck to on the tree.
All right, go ahead and roll it.
No.
Are you gonna recklessly?
I'm gonna recklessly do it, of course. What other way would there be? Give me
Okay.
yours. I'm gonna do it at the same time.
Kamehameha.
That's not good. The 9 plus 4, 13.
A 13 hits it. It like starts to shred, and then you just hear while battle's going on, the slow tear of fabric as he then plummets the 10 feet down.
Land on your face.
Tuck and roll! Tuck and roll!
If you land on your head, you don't land on yours.
He takes some damage. It looks like he might have like sprained or broken ankle or something.
And there's a cleric in town, don't worry!
Such a dick. Such a dick.
Give me a perception check, there, Grayson.
I'm gonna burn my tides of. I don't know if I can burn my tides of chaos for that. I wanna. No, I can't tides. Perception?
Yeah.
18.
18. You start to hear the noises from out of the tunnel. What you can see is 2 more goblins emerging from outside the tunnel.
Oh no. The tunnel is birthing goblins.
And these ones are holding bows and arrows, and they'll shoot at you.
That's what happened to Susie back in town when I was...
That is a 19.
No, it's in my 20s,
that'll
that's
punch
why
me
I
in the
left.
mouth.
That will hit you for 5 damage.
Oof.
And then the other one is only a 9.
Ah! Shoot me once, shame on you. Shoot me twice, still shame on you.
This one will be opportunist attacker and go after Merryweather while he is prone. And he will hit him and just take a big old chunk out of his shoulder. This one will move forward to you. Because for what it knows, you summon the unicorn. Has also a 19 to hit, or 18 to hit.
That slaps me in the mouth.
For another 5 points of damage.
A unicorn?
I summoned a unicorn!
You're about to die.
Yeah, I'm bloody. It hurts me.
I can't do nothing for you.
It is the unicorn's turn.
It's the unicorn! Oh, do you need...
I need a stat block for
You
the
need a
unicorn.
stat block for the
because I
unicorn.
didn't bring my DMG in.
Hold on. This is worth every moment of my life.
Well, the funny thing is I was hoping to use this as an example to be able to like post up for our DMs to see how this part could be run.
This is how it is always run.
There's always a unicorn now.
Yeah, here's a unicorn.
Cool.
See what happens when you put Mikey in a game?
Tides of chaos.
He brings fucking unicorns.
Unicorn. Well, I'm burning hands. Can I chaos it? Yes.
Its horn will bend down and tap you on the head,
Yes.
and you will be healed for 11 damage.
What?
I freaking love this unicorn.
If you have any diseases or poisoned from any previous games, those are also gone.
I had a rash.
Oh my
It's
god.
I rolled in some ivy.
Can you imagine if you came back from Avernus and you're like all
Hey.
fucked up and then the unicorn just
And I get
touched you
11
out of
points
nowhere?
Yeah, there were no flumps this time.
Ben should
Sir
be used
Fritz.
to this from BK, so no sympathy.
Yeah. Okay, that is the unicorn's turn. Grayson, it is now your turn. There's one right next to you.
Oh god, I wish. Oh, do I? What I would like to do, is I'll take the attack of opportunity. I'll move away from Goblin.
There's a 17 to hit.
That hits.
5 whole points of damage.
Ouch.
Woohoo! Wow, you just got that too.
It's okay. I'm okay. And then
Well, you moved 1, 2, and then another 6.
no, 12. So a total of 30. I'm just going to cast Firebolt on the goblin attacking Grayson. And I'll burn my Tides of Chaos for
Advantage.
yeah. 20 something.
Yep.
And we're looking at an impressive 3 points of fire damage.
He is still. Nope. He's still up. That's the one that got blasted by the fireball.
It burns us.
Oh wait, no, it wasn't.
No.
Sorry for the pen clicking. I did it now, but for a reason.
And that'll be my turn.
Okay. Then it will be McDougal's turn.
I'm going to rush this guy in my rage, and I'm going to attack
Smack him in the mouth.
Yeah, with my battle axe, two-handed.
You gonna reckless it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You. Double fist.
Also,
16 hit.
yes. These are used for these are D2s, but I really like the idea of using them just as bad guys because it's a 1 and a 2. And you
Oh, it's like a coin.
I like
Yeah.
those.
So I have a question. Oh no, that's not it. Okay, I don't think I have that correct. No, that's a D20. Okay, never mind. So 5 damage. That's it. I rolled a 1.
It's enough to cleave him in 2. As you drop him down, you still have 15 feet of movement, I believe, if you want to do anything else with your movement.
There's more dudes.
Yep, there's 2 in the cave and 1 right in front of the unicorn / death tyrant. The unityrant.
Do I know that the unicorn's not gonna be fucked up to me? Like, does it know that I'm chill?
You have no idea?
I wouldn't attack. It's a unicorn.
I'm not trying to attack the unicorn. That's what I'm trying to tell you.
If you're pure of heart, it'll recognize you.
I'm.
I guess we could have cleared up that confusion because that is something I should have done. Because you're confused for a whole minute.
Okay, can I frenzy?
That's fair.
Can I frenzy to do a bonus action attack if I do move forward to this goblin? I will take 1 exhaustion. I understand that.
Yeah, normally I think you're supposed to do it when you rage, but I'll allow it. It's fine. So yeah.
We're gonna move frenzy up, dude. I'm gonna. Wait,
You have enough to get to him, yeah.
Okay, so
Yeah.
Bonus action attack again. You're still have advantage.
You still roll with advantage.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay, that's 15. That was in that one. Do I get to roll that again though, right?
No.
Every time I roll 1 as for lucky as my racial trait, I get to roll that again for the attack roll, or is that?
Oh yeah. When you roll the 1, you'll re-roll it.
Okay, it doesn't matter. That was 7. I keep it. Okay, so 15 then plus. I think it was 4, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, 15 plus 4, so 19. Does that hit?
Yeah.
All right. I'm gonna use your D10. Let's same number. Yeah. So that's another 5 damage then.
Is that 5 plus all the stuff, or was it?
Yeah.
Total.
No, it was a 1. That's why.
Wow, this guy's still standing. He's the champion among goblins. Who will then try to attack you back, Cindy.
That's fine.
That is a 17 to hit.
That hits.
For 5 damage, half to 2 because you're raging.
Yes.
And then more arrows are coming your way. That is
arrows?
Yep. A 16 to hit.
That hits. What was the first one? The first damage was what?
2.
2. Okay, and what else now?
And a 19 to hit.
Yes.
And a 17 to hit.
That all
So
hits.
that will be a total of 6 more damage on top or 8 more damage on top of that.
Already subtracting the.
Yeah, I'm already having it.
Okay, thank you. So 8. Okay.
You're good, right?
Yes.
As you see, like,
I have
one-
18 out of 32.
Oh, you're good.
I have that health potion. Thank God.
Yeah.
Okay.
And money.
The unicorn's just gonna hoof this dude. The unicorn successfully hoofs this dude.
The unicorn's a savage.
But
I look at the unicorn like, thank you. My little tiny body just like, please don't stomp me.
Don't stop me.
Grayson, it is now your turn.
I'm going to burn Magic Missile as a 2nd level spell.
Okay.
Can I roll to regain Tides of Chaos?
Yeah.
75.
Oh, you're out of fireball radius now.
I glow with bright light in a 30-foot radius. Any creature that ends its turn within 5 feet of me is blinded. This lasts for a minute.
Okay.
But I get to shoot 4 bolts. Each bolt is 4. I'd split them between the front two.
Okay.
So 8 damage to each.
Taking it.
Cool. Oh, roll the tides my missile. Ooh, close.
Close.
Okay, that's a lot of
Alright.
tides in.
Grayson. It is now your turn. Or McDougal. Sorry.
McDougal. Oh, I will move closer.
Behind
this tree.
5 feet closer to her.
No.
Like, so you're adjacent to her.
No.
Okay,
I'm
so
behind
now
a
that I
bush.
have 1
Yeah,
level of
blind.
exhaustion, what
No.
does that do?
It doesn't matter until after you rage.
Yeah, when
You
you're done
gain-
raging, you get tired.
Okay. Alright, so then for right now, I'm going to use my action to, should I take that health potion? Or should I wait? 18? I'm still good, right?
Run forward and kill them
I'm
all.
gonna bring these guys out just so they can see them on camera. There's 2
That's
2 more
huge.
guys.
Yeah, run forward and just slam them.
Then I shall. It's the sound of what my battle axe will do.
Swing with all the...
Woo! That's 20!
Alright.
Yay! See?
Good
Ooh.
job.
I had to prove it to you. So 24 then. The natural 20. So then do I get to roll twice?
Yeah.
Yay! Yes, that's 12. 16 damage.
Roll me another d20. Just for flavor.
9.
9. You cleave through this guy, and you hit the armor of the other guy.
Boom.
You are fencing.
So
you get
you
a
still
bonus
have
attack.
a bonus attack if you
Oh!
attack the other guy.
And you're still reckless.
I'm gonna hit him. 7. 10. 14.
Yeah, because he had a bow and arrow out, 14 hits.
Nice.
Oh, did they have little shields?
Yeah.
They had cute little shields.
Yeah, so normally a goblin has a 15 armor class, but if they're using their bow and arrow, I'll always take the shield bonus
10
away.
10 damage?
Yeah, he's dead. He graveyard dead.
Oh, goodbye, booger.
I'm just trying to impress the unicorn at this point.
The unicorn will heal you as well for 11 hit points.
Yay!
Kind
I'll
of
take it.
tramps around for a little bit. It is eyeing Merryweather very cautiously before it disappears. And
Guy's a good unicorn. I didn't know I was a healer.
Merryweather stands up and he goes and he grabs his bag and he starts to look through it and he's just like, oh my gosh, they took it all, they destroyed it all, they got their filthy hands all over this, I can't believe I let goblins take my backpack.
Whoa, calm down, Merryweather. Look, we were sent out here to rescue you. Are you okay?
My notes are, my book will take so much longer to finish now.
Your book?
Yeah.
Oh, you're a writer?
Why else were you sent out to come and find me?
Your cousin? Your
Sure.
cousin sent us.
Oh,
What's her face?
the chairman?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I guess I could go back to town now since my book is basically ruined.
Here, let me see your book.
Oh, it's like pages, just random pages, like those kind of like they write a page and then they throw it into a book, like
Gotcha.
they're scrap paper.
They're dossiers.
Now, did I notice that the unicorn was a little weary about Merryweather?
Give me an insight check.
5.
No. Wouldn't go near him. That's about all you noticed.
How do I feel about Merryweather?
He's a pompous prick.
Okay.
Well, I mean, we're set out to catch the boy.
Give me perception checks actually as well.
Dun, 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 dun. Ooh. 3. That's why we're friends.
So you guys go and you pick up the papers that are like scrambled around the camp, and you give them back to him, but you don't really like pay any attention to what's written on it at all.
Nah, not really. I don't. Well, I mean, as much as I read, I actually don't really read that much. Well, Merryweather, we should probably get back.
Very good. I will follow you, or will one of you carry me? Will carry me? Great.
Let's go. I just start walking off laughing as I'm walking off.
Okay. You guys return to the Tan of Phandalin. They thank you. They give you the gold. Lord Merryweather is very grateful for your assistance, and he is a little bit upset and angry that he couldn't follow in the trails of Volo and writing a epic book like he has, but he is sitting down and writing some more, trying to make sure that he can become that great author.
You'll get there, Merryweather.
As a side note, it's all garbage. Like, he can't write worth a damn. But that is part 1 of In Volo's Wake. That is the conclusion.
Yay!
You are gifted a potion of climbing as well for your assistance.
Oh, potion of climbing.
Yeah.
Notes.
Rad.
Dun-dun.
That was a pretty easy, simple intro.
For 2 level 3s.
Yeah. I singed some gobos, although they did return the flavor,
Yeah.
so that's fair. And I summoned a unicorn.
You did.
That was rad.
You did summon a unicorn.
Thank you, Ben. That was wonderful.
And that concludes another session of Cleric Talks on another Tuesday. And now it is 3 o'clock Pacific Standard Time.
PST.
And we'd like to thank you all for joining us this afternoon. Yes?
Yeah.
Yes.
It's afternoon all
It
over
is.
the United States.
No, it is not. But that is okay, my dear friend.
Depends on what time zone Hawaii's in right now.
Is it?
What? Oh, in Hawaii, yes. Well, what about New York and Boston?
It's definitely
That's like nighttime over there.
Thank you so much, guys. Follow, like, Jamie. Oh, there goes, I lost an earring. That's like showing your petticoat. Thank you so much, guys. Like, follow, subscribe if you have not already.
Send
to
a letter.
continue to be part of the rest of our shenanigans. We'd like to thank you guys for being a part of today's show. It was fun. It was a little different.
Yeah.
We did something new. I like it. We're
For-
always doing different things.
For those of you who will be running in Volo's Wake at ECC, that is exactly how every game will run. Every time.
Next
Forever.
week am really excited because just a few hours ago, like yesterday, late in the day, Unearth Arcana released some more content. So I'd like to go over some of that next show and talk about that.
We'll do that. We'll talk about
we'll
those
have to
things.
kind of go over. We didn't talk about the last release that was done,
Oh, that's true.
and the controversies. Dun dun dun.
Of the Cleric of Ruefully.
talk about all of those things later. Thank you so much, guys. Have a great Tuesday. Have a great week.
Yeah.
And
We'll see you.
we'll see you Tuesday.
See
And
you.
make sure you guys check in with Delving
Read
Deep.
it out. Sorry, hang on.
That's all right.
Let me unhost real quick. Sorry, I got too excited on that.
Ben got real
Oh.
excited and sent us away.
I
Yeah,
meant to
he
hit
did.
start raid and we had already started, so I just accidentally raided them.
Fire.
Just saying, make sure you tune in tonight at 6 with Delving in Deep.
Yeah.
And we will see you guys later.
Yeah.
Mwah.
Hasta mañana.
Oh, I gotta do it again now.
Oh yeah, we have to raid. Re-rating Bonsai?
Re-rating.
No, Bonsai's not on time.
What do you mean Bonsai's done? Bonsai's
She's
always on.
doing something, I don't know. You gotta go on her Twitter.